Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is that you're watching this video. Uh, Welcome to Midland City Alabama, which is located in Dale County, towards the southeast corner of the state. This town was incorporated in 1890. It is 18 minutes northwest of Dothan, Alabama, which I got a few of those videos up. In fact, I did a Dothan, Alabama video just the other day, so feel free to go check it out. The population here in Midland City is 1,901 people. And this city has lost a whopping 25.9% population as of the 2020 census. And for the most part, this appears to be a small, quiet, low-key town. I mean, for those of you that are looking at moving to Alabama, and for whatever reason you're looking at moving to the southeast part of Alabama, and you don't want to live in Dothan, but you need to be close, or you want to be close to Dothan, this is not this does not appear to be a bad place to check out. And it's also not too far from Ozark, Alabama either. I mean, if I can, let's see. Let's look it up real quick. Midland City, Alabama to Ozark, Alabama.
Ozark is 18 minutes from Midland City by car and light traffic.
Okay, so this town, Midland City, really, it's smack dab in the middle of Dothan and Ozark. So as far as cities that are, much larger, much more amenities, you got a choice of Ozark or Dothan. So if you're one of these people that, maybe you're looking at moving to a small rural community because you don't want to live in no type of city, not even a small city, I mean, this would be a good place to check out. Now, with that being said, if you're looking to move here to Midland City, Alabama, the median home price here is only $124,000. Now, I will say that right now, there's only one home that's for sale that's below that price. The majority of the houses that are currently for sale here are going to be over $200,000. So if you want to buy a house around here, you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled to the pavement. That's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. Now, if you're just looking to rent, median rent prices are going to go from $600 to $1,190 a month. And when it comes to the crime, the crime numbers aren't exactly all that impressive. But as I've told you guys before, if you really want to move here to Midland City, my suggestion, as always, come down here, check it out for yourself, talk to a couple of the locals and ask them about the crime. Because in most cases, for starters, your locals are not going to have any reason to lie to you. And B, since they're here every day, their information is going to be more accurate than what you might look at on some data. I mean, and yes, I mean, the purpose of data. I mean, now most people, when they look at data, people look at data as if it was the gospel truth. And in many cases, that might be the case. But sometimes the best thing that you can do for the most accurate piece of information when it comes to things such as crime is to sit down and speak to a local. And also, if you try to approach somebody, it will also let you know the mentality of the people. Like whether they're friendly, whether they're neighborly, whether they're even approachable, or they're like standoffish. Oh, and before I get too far here, I just want to let you guys know, due to the sunlight, like when you get to the 19-minute and 20-second mark, you're gonna see the video turning completely white. So skip from 1920 to the 20-minute and 13-second mark, because the video is going to turn completely white due to my camera being in the sun. So skip from 19-minute and 20-second mark to the 20-minute and 13-second mark when you get to that point of this video. Okay, let's keep on going. So yeah, when it comes to crime, the crime numbers are a bit high. I mean, for violent crime, you got 63% above the national average. For property crime, you got 53% above the national average. Now, granted, those aren't the worst numbers in the world, but for a town that's small, they're definitely not the best. And maybe that could be one of the reasons why this town is losing so many people. Now some people might say that people are leaving because the opportunities in this area when it comes to employment are limited, so that could be another reason. I'm gonna just assume that those are the reasons why people are leaving here, because A, lack of employment opportunities, and probably B, the crime rates. Now, as far as it goes with the crime rate, I'm not 100% certain on it. I'm just going off of data. But anyways, as far as it goes for the racial demographics, you got 61.6% white, 30.9% black, and 2.2% Hispanic, and all your other ethnicities are less than 1%. So, honestly, when it comes to this town, like I said, it appears to be a quiet, low-key town. And it could make a nice place for somebody to move to and live if you're looking for that small town / rural community atmosphere. But at the same time, you're still relatively close to larger communities that have bigger and better amenities, such as Dothan and Ozark. Alright, now a couple of things happened in this town that was not so good, and they both happened within the last 10 years. The first thing that happened was the 2013 Alabama bunker hostage crisis. Now, for those of you that are familiar with this area, or you keep up with the news throughout the state of Alabama, you guys probably know exactly what I'm getting ready to briefly discuss. Anyhow, here's what happened. A 65-year-old Vietnam War vet, his name was Jimmy Lee Dykes. He boarded a school bus and shot the driver, and then I abducted a child randomly. Now, I'm going to assume the bus driver did not survive. I don't know. I'm going to assume that they didn't. So anyhow, the child's name was Ethan. He sat at the closest seat to the front. So he shot the driver and then abducted the child that was closest to the front. The child was then taken into a underground bunker and was held hostage by Dykes. The suspect, for about a week, until the two people were located by the FBI. At that time, the FBI deleted Dykes and rescued Ethan. So it's unfortunate that the bus driver got shot, but I'm glad that the child survived and the suspect got done away with. Now, the second incident that happened here in this town, it happened in two, well, it didn't really, well, I don't know. Here's how it goes. Now, in August of 2016, interim mayor Patsy Chapsaw Skipper left a racially offensive comment on Facebook. When asked by one of her Facebook friends how the election went, she replied, "The N-word won." Now, we all know what that means. I'm not going to say the word on here because of YouTube guidelines. But when she said the N-word won, she was referring to Joan Glimsey, who was her opponent, who was also Midland City's first black mayor. And I would say, I'm going to just say it straight up. I'm not surprised. I am not a bit surprised. Now, I know some of you might be shocked about what I just said, but me, I hate to say it, but I'm not a bit surprised. I mean, unfortunately, in some of these smaller communities, in certain parts of the United States, people still feel how they feel about certain folks. And although a few laws may have changed, although other things may have changed since the Civil Rights era, that does not mean that the hearts of some of the people who live in some of these places have changed. So that's another thing. I mean, there's a lot of racket going on social media, talking about leave the city, move to the country, move to a small town, the city's too dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And although living in a small town like this does have its benefits, it does have its advantages, at least to me it does. The reality of living in some of these smaller communities are, unfortunately, some of your neighbors, I mean, if you're a minority, some of your neighbors are going to feel exactly the same way about you as our friend Patsy Chapsaw felt about her opponent. Because it's one thing to be disappointed that you lost, even if she felt that his victory was not earned and he cheated, whatever. I mean, it's one thing to feel some kind of way about stuff like that, but to me, when you inject racial slurs, to me, it gives a whole situation a whole new meaning. Like, I think with that woman, I don't think she, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure she wanted to win, but the fact that and she probably thought she would win. She probably thought because her opponent was black, he was going to lose. Everybody was going to vote for her automatically. But when that didn't happen, she got into her feelings, and how she really felt about certain people came out. So I know a lot of you might be surprised about what she said. Like some of you that are from this area, you probably remember when that first came out and people in the community were discussing it. I'm going to assume that at some point during 2016, it did make the news. I don't know. Back then I wasn't doing YouTube and I wasn't living down here in Alabama, so I don't know. But when I did my research and then I came across that piece of information, I'm going to tell you guys flat out, I'm not a bit surprised. At some point, if someone doesn't like you, because of your ethnicity or whatever, at some point they're gonna let you know what it is. At the opportune moment, they're gonna let you know what it is. In most cases, that's typically how it goes. People like that are only gonna fake the funk for so long. Alright folks, that's all I got for this commentary, so I'm gonna let you guys watch the remainder of this video. And remember, when you get to the 19-minute and 20-second mark, skip over to the 20-minute and 13-second mark to avoid that white glare, which is from the camera being in the sun. Alright folks, y'all know what to do at this point. If you want to help me out, all you gotta do is give my videos a thumbs up to help with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now. And on that note, y'all have a blessed one, and I'll see you guys on the next one.